We all know Serena Williams. Well, she made a comment about the Steubenville rape case, and she had to backtrack on it and kind of, she says she's apologized. She's actually, I don't know if she's really sincere about it. I think that she kind of felt, okay, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. So basically what she said was talking about the female, well, she shouldn't have put herself in that position.
Well, Jesse, for the people who don't know the story, what give us a little bit of background on what happened.
So the rape case was, we've spoken about it here before, 2 teens who had taken this girl. She was under the influence of, what was it?
Alcohol and a couple other things we're saying.
Yes.
Raped, videotaped, and so very serious matters that have been going on in this country for how long?
Yeah.
And Serena said the girl shouldn't have put herself in that position, which is actually a big common thing for people to say about girls in this position that have been through stuff like this before. But then she also went on to say, I guess apparently on the phone with her sister Venus, saying, top 5 player, it's boring and won't be invited to cool parties. If she wants to be with the guy with a black heart, go for it. Those remarks were interpreted towards this rape case and just promoting the fact that, I mean, hey, if you want to make it in life, you got to kind of go with the flow, go with it. I don't know how to take it.
I think that
personally, I think it's taken very much out of context, that quote.
Yeah, because that second portion of the quote, I think, was a reference with an argument with her and Maria Sharapova that was sort of, they've played around and maybe made it something that it wasn't. Because the Steubenville comment, I think she was pretty much just saying, like, this girl was putting herself in a very unfortunate position and somebody should also talk to this girl. And it came across as attacking the victim. And because we live in such a one-sided, especially patriarchal sort of culture where the men sort of get off, it's very hard coming from a woman to say, like, women, you also have to take responsibility for yourself. And I think she was just sort of, she's been bashed about it, but I kind of feel where she was coming from. And I think people just didn't look at the whole picture, because you don't want to hear when a girl, because that should have never happened, whether the girl was passed out or not.
Right.
She does not deserve that, period. But I think we also have to, she was just trying to say, be self-responsible.
Right.
And that was not a responsible thing for you to do in that sort of environment. So it sucks, and you don't want to hear that coming from a woman. But I kind of don't like that she backtracked, that Serena has had to apologize. And I get it, because she's a public figure, so she's got to apologize. But I think she should have just maybe clarified a little bit more and, stuck with what you say and what you believe. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, like, young ladies going to these parties and getting face drunk and passing out, or sitting your drink down and not paying attention to what happens with that drink and not getting a new one because somebody could slip you something. Like, those are things, because we live in the real world, and those are things that can happen, and bad things can happen. So I think she should have just clarified maybe a little bit more, but not just be like, I didn't mean to say that, because she meant to say that.
Yeah, and maybe it was her PR or whatever, but, we've talked about this several times on the show. Young girls do need to take responsibility.
Yeah.
We were saying, Rick Ross and rappers who talk about the Molly and all these different things that are being
talk about the Molly.
Talk about
the Molly, the Molly, but kids have to take responsibility as well. Young women need to take responsibility. So hopefully, I'm thinking it was probably her PR that made her backtrack a little bit. But I wish she had just stuck to her guns and just completely was able to go all the way with her statement.
And just clarify, we're not absolving the men of their responsibility for that action. They were wrong. They deserve to go to jail for it and all of that. And she could have clarified that and gone with it. But we live in a PR world.
Her career will be fine.
She'll be fine.
She's still hitting the ball.
I just also
5,000 miles an hour.
Exactly.
She's a very real person, real down to earth, and I just think she was annoyed because she just had to keep apologizing. She's like, I've already done this.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And of course, they can take anything and turn it into.
It's tough being a celebrity.
Yeah.